think that we're also seeing an industry-wide situation because their business revenue for the third quarter declined significantly, right?
It did. It was
2.3%.
like almost 3%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
2.5%.
Why is that a big deal? Because that is an
Who's taking the
industry-wide
business?
situation. No. They're just leaving because they
Oh,
don't need as many circuits, right? So that
gotcha.
legacy business, T1 lines, all that stuff, older VPNs, POTS lines, right, for the elevators. Everything's becoming modernized, so thus it's not as expensive, right, as before. So the business revenue declining 2.3%. I now understand why, Wall Street is concerned for that's one of not as big of a concern as the one that I'm about to mention, but a concern. The other one that was reported on was that, they missed their revenue target. Now, of course, when you start promoting since the second quarter that any year, any condition, regardless of the phone model, you're going to start spending a significant amount more money on your promotional spend, right? Because this new iPhone launch, even though it shows that there is not that many people that
The
actually
one with
took
millimeter
advantage,
wave on all models.
right. Even though not many people upgraded this year yet, because they're not convinced that it's that big of a deal until in Apple Intelligence next week, people can download the RC version starting as of yesterday. But um, a significant amount of people switched to Verizon because they had broken phones, right? Are they willing to pay? They're willing to pay the significant increase in cost, right? Coming from a Verizon, or sorry, coming from a T-Mobile, coming from an AT&T or an alternative NVNO carrier, right? That's the trade-off, right? Because it is a full price plan, right? In order to take advantage of that deal, you have to be on the mid-tier plan or on the top-tier plan. And then actually, in even further double click, depending on the phone model, will determine which promotion you get, right? So, for example, um, if you were to if you wanted the $1,000 off on Verizon today, right? You can get it on any phone model, but you would have to be on the ultimate plan, or you would have to be on the middle plan, right? There was a situation that I was looking up on launch day of the iPhone where only the ultimate plan was able to get you the full $1,000 off, depending on the model you traded in, which was very interesting. But anyways, it worked out for them. I'm glad that we see competition, right? Because um, T-Mobile is doing the same thing, right? In order to get their $1,000 off promotion, you have to be on the Go Max, whatever the top Go 5G plan, right? A lot of people now are getting the notification, whether through it's their bill or other means, that hey, I need to upgrade my plan on T-Mobile in order to take advantage of the deals. So that's going to be something very interesting to see as well on the T-Mobile upgrade percentage, which I'm actually going to try to find right now. Um, to see if they have it anywhere on the presentation, or I have to go look in the Excel file. Let's see, upgrade. Okay, so wireless postpaid upgrades down 10% year over year. That's interesting.
That was 11%.
Oh, 11 says 10.2 on page 4. But anyways, either
Oh,
way,
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
either way, it's a big deal. It's down, right? It's down. Why is it down? Well, a lot of people can't even afford, the taxes right now. That's a fact. We're seeing it
That's
across the
wild.
industry.
That's
Can't even
wild, right?
afford $100, to
Mhm.
pay, cash or credit or whatever. They don't have $100. So that contributes to that 10%. Right now, a lot of folks are in delusional land that's saying that the economy is good. Unfortunately, no, right? The economy is not good right now, and it's showing in these numbers.
That makes the progress that Verizon's made in the value segment even more significant than, in my opinion.
Let's get Max in here.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that value segment. And I do want to get into the fixed wireless part of it later, but let's not overlook. Let's not overlook that is, as Sneed mentioned earlier, first quarter in a long time where Verizon has reported positive prepaid phone gains. Why? Well, between Q2 and Q3, we've had the total wireless revamp. We've had a revamp to Simple Mobile. We've had a revamp to a lot of Verizon's brands. And you can probably tell I look at this stuff closely. This is the most competitive I've ever seen them, and I did not expect this from them. But with new leadership in their value segment, that'll do it, right? You got
Max,
different
you know
leaders.
how I
with
knew what
different
was going to
ideas.
happen? You know how I knew?
How'd you know?
When they started setting up stores with dealers. When you start setting up retail positions, you're all in. They were giving them
True.
stores, they were giving them signage, they were giving them contracts, they were giving them support, financial
Yeah.
support, guarantees.
And for dealers,
Yeah.
for dealers, Verizon is known having the best compensation and support in the industry. And I don't know much about the specifics of the Total Wireless program, but I know quite a few people within the Verizon prepaid program, which I know isn't as popular, but those guys get 100% of the first month's payment on every activation. So let's say they sign up a customer with a $50 plan. That dealer earns $50. Plus they get like huge commissions on, different sales, payments at the stores. And I don't want to emphasize that part too much because really it's a broader thing that Verizon is competing hard in the value segment more than ever, or what I call the affordable wireless space. And I definitely got that from when I was interviewing that Verizon executive, Arturo Pacici, if you want to look him up. Under the new leadership, they are going hard to fight against the competition where Verizon has lacked in prepaid and in the affordable wireless space for a very, very, very long time. This was well overdue, and yeah, it's good enough that I'm switching my family to it. So they're definitely doing something right.
All right, B, your time to shine, sir.
I agree with you, Max. You're right.
Let's go.
I really don't see anything negative with this quarter. That was really good. And I think Verizon has said time and again how it's going to be judging its own progress, and that's with wireless service revenue, EBITDA, and free cash flow. I expect those results to be industry leading. We'll see, but they definitely seem to be very healthy in those three spaces. From a growth standpoint, we can end all of the talk about Verizon not growing anymore. That's just a farce, and it's no longer accurate. Verizon was able to grow and also be very profitable at the same time, which has always been that company's goal. So they accomplished that. I like that they have provided new guidance on their broadband growth. They're going to go for, I think it's 8 to 9 million customers from 4 to 5. So that's really, really good. And it's definitely achievable at the rate that they're currently going. I don't see why that's something that they can't achieve. So definitely a good thing for them. The biggest, I guess, negative from the quarter was just the earnings per share on a GAAP basis, being at 78 cents per share. And the only real reason for that is just because of the voluntary separation package that they had. I think they had to pay out 1.7 billion. And if you add that 1.7 billion, if I'm not mistaken, back into what they reported, it actually seems like they would have grown their cash from what they had year over year. So I don't think from a financial standpoint they're doing bad. I don't think Verizon or anybody in the company is really crying too hard about a reduction in equipment revenue, just because that's empty calories anyway.